Hey there. Welcome back to Happy Heart Gardens. I am Rebecca, if we have not met, and thanks for being here. Welcome. So, today I am in the Pennsylvania garden. So, if you don't know, if you're new here, I garden in two states, primarily in South Alabama, but I also do a summer garden at the family farm in Pennsylvania. And it is the time of year where we plant the Pennsylvania garden. So, in this video, I'm going to go over just some things we're doing differently and show you my crazy chaos pumpkin garden. So here we have the main garden. It's an in-ground garden. And we've already had some struggles this year, what I'm going to get into in a minute. But I just want to show you real quick. This is our sort of cattle feeder raised bed. I did this for my dad. This was the first sort of garden in this area. And we had strawberries in here, and the weather has just been so inconsistent with like hot, cold, hot, cold. And it just, I think, is what killed all the strawberries. But no worries. We have planted some bush beans down the middle and some alyssum and basil. And I'm already getting little, where were they at? Little alyssum volunteers. So that is super exciting. And then we'll make our way into the main garden here. You can see we have some T-posts and chicken wire that we use that for a deer fence. As you can see, we're kind of out here in the country and we get a lot of deer. So the fence and also other critters, woodchucks, baby bunnies, all the things. So the fence is really a necessity. I believe this is the 5th year that we've had this garden. And we did this, originally I had planted pumpkins down behind our family dairy barn and it was just fantastic. And then the next year we did it and the woodchucks ate them all. So my parents said, why don't you build something a little bit closer to the house and we'll put a fence up. And it has been great. So we started off doing a lot of vegetables and pumpkins, but we're slowly transitioning into more flowers as it's just my mom now. And it's a lot of work for her. So I wanted to have less maintenance for her, but also she just wanted a lot of flowers. So I'm doing a flower garden for her. And as I mentioned, and you're going to see as I get more into the garden, the weather has already just been such a challenge this year. Oh my goodness. Like I said, hot, cold. When I got here, it was 85 and then it was down to like almost freezing. So we planted some things and you can tell things are like stunted or they just are not happy. But I'm hoping things are going to kind of smooth out weather-wise and the plants will take off and be happy. But with Mother Nature, you just do what you can do. Okay, so first up, we are doing a lot more flowers than vegetables. So I know it looks kind of messy, but I think the flowers are just all going to fill in. So hang with me. But we have some marigolds that I planted here along the edge and a lot of calendula volunteers. And we're hoping for a lot more. And we'll probably get some cleomes as well. And then same thing on this side. I have just a ton of marigolds that I planted along with some calendula seeds in between, but you can see the cold damage, those cold nights turned them kind of purple. So that's not good. But again, hoping that everybody bounces back. And then moving into the garden. So we are doing something new, a new vegetable, and that is cabbage and Brussels sprouts. And I'm doing them here in these tubs. I'm also doing a couple in the ground just to see if there's a difference. We usually grow potatoes and onions in here. But like I said, less veggies, or I should say less work for my mom. So that's why I've planted in the cabbage and Brussels sprouts. We did have some daffodils in here, but again, with the hot, cold back and forth, the bulbs rotted. So the tulips did grow, but they never flowered. So that's a bummer. A little nasturtium and chive in the wheelbarrow. And then over here in the kiddie pool, we have some sunflowers I planted along with some poppies. Nothing's really happened yet. That could be some weed or a flower. I'm just leaving it to see what happens. Why not, right? And then lots of flowers here. Some gomphrena. Again, you're going to see like that red frost damage, or not really frost, but just cold damage. We have some dill. Another little cabbage back there. We're only doing 2 slicers. That's these guys here. Again, not looking too great, but hoping they do better. Here's a little cabbage, or it could be a Brussels sprout. It's hard to say. And then on our little trellis, we have 2 sun sugars, again, a couple marigolds, and a couple of cucumbers. Again, you can see just how they look a little tweaked on that older growth, but they're getting fresh new green growth. So they should be fine. And of course I need to water again today too. Another nasturtium, some dill, and and yellow squash. And that's pretty much it as far as vegetables go. We have these strips along the back side here, this side, and then the back side, and these are all sunflowers that I planted. I just did that the other day, so nothing's sprouted yet. If you see green, that's weeds. Can't help it, I just can't get all of them as much as I try. And then on the back side here, I'm gonna try not to get the shadow, is oh my goodness, zinnias and cosmos in these strips. And then we have 2 blueberries, which have never done great for me. That's just because they want a more acidic soil. I probably shouldn't have planted them here, but I think actually we might get a couple little berries this year, believe it or not. So there you go. And I do fertilize them with a berry tone type, or acidifier, and I think that helps as well. And same thing here with these zinnia plants. It was beautiful when I planted them, and then it got cold. So I'm hoping, again, I know I say hope a lot, but I do have a lot of hope. It's all I have for these plants. I'm hoping when I come back in about 6-8 weeks that they are just perked right up and all full and looking lovely. But worst case scenario, I know we were going to have a ton of cleomes because you plant these guys once and they just keep coming back forever and ever. So not to worry, there will be some color in this garden. And now for the best part, let's talk about pumpkins. So really the whole purpose of this garden is to grow my pumpkins. So it's really hard to grow pumpkins down in South Alabama. I just have a ton of pest pressure. So that's why I do it up here. And I don't know if you can see all these big holes. These are where I have all of the pumpkins planted. So again, I just did these the other day. So no sprouts yet, but I believe we have 11 varieties. So hopefully these guys just take right off. And you can see there's no tags. That's because I mark nothing. I tried marking the first couple years and tags just like wore off, tags got lost. And now I'm just like, you know what? I put a different variety in each hole, and then we just see what comes up. So next up, I'm going to show you what seeds I am growing, what pumpkin seeds, and I'm also going to show you what I mix into the planting hole that really gives me the best pumpkins. Okay, I hope you can kind of see me. I know it's dark, but I thought it'd be a lot prettier background than staring at the house. So let's talk about what seeds I planted. So in those back holes in the garden, those big strips that we cut out for flowers, I use these giant jumbo packs of sunflower, Cosmo, and zinnia from Sow Right Seeds. These have done great in the past. Really happy with these. I do have a code if you're interested. So that is the flowers in the big strips. And then I did the little sun golds in the kiddie pool, along with some of this mixed peony poppy. Isn't that so pretty? I really hope that takes. Super excited about that. And then pumpkins. So I love, love, love growing pumpkins. And I'm just so thankful that I'm able to do it up here at the family farm. So pumpkins are my favorite. Pretty much grow just decorative pumpkins. In the past, we've grown like some acorn squash, some butternut squash, that type of thing. Spaghetti squash. Again, just not doing as much of that because it's hard for my mom. It's hard for her to like cut into them, that type of thing. And we're just mixing it up. We're just kind of doing more flowers and fun. We're calling it this year, flowers and fun. So the last couple of years, I have been growing bush pumpkins, which I'm a huge fan of, especially if you have like a smaller space, a raised bed, or you just don't want the vines going everywhere. I definitely recommend bush pumpkins. And my favorite place to get pumpkins, especially bush pumpkins, is from Holmes Seed. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Home Seed, they have a huge variety of decorative pumpkins. Can't recommend enough. I've had great success with them. I've grown a bunch of different kinds, and they've always done really well. So let's go through the lineup for this year. And since they don't have the picture on their package, I will put up a little picture like next to it. So we're doing Capital, which I believe is just a regular orange pumpkin. White Knight, which is a flat stacker. These are all ones I've grown last year. So just trying to use up old seed. And then Phantomita. This is a super cute green and kind of yellowy striped, really small pumpkin. Did this for my great nephew because he loves green and yellow. So he's like, I want a green and yellow pumpkin. And sure enough, there's a green and yellow pumpkin out there. So excited about that one. And then getting into some other pumpkin varieties. This is Casper, just a regular nice white pumpkin. And Connecticut Fields, your classic Halloween pumpkin. Big Macs. Again, this is another one that I've grown in the past. And also, some of these are older seed. Like this is from 21. So I think I put like 5 or 6 of these in the hole just to make sure that I get some germination. Again, I'm literally just planting these seeds, watering them for a few days, and then I'm hoping that it rains because I'm heading back to Alabama. So it's really just up to Mother Nature at this point. I did also on a couple of these do the nail clipping trick where you just barely clip the end of the seed with a nail clipper to kind of nick that seed coat and speed up germination. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but I figure by overseeding so much, something has to take, right? Or it'll be complete chaos up there and everything will germinate and it will just be fantastic. But moving on, we have Toad, another one I've grown in the past. Love it. Again, a really small, little, just adorable pumpkin. This is also a bush variety. And then we have Mrs. Wrinkles carving. Again, just kind of like a classic Halloween pumpkin. Oh, I forgot to mention about Big Macs. I grew this one. The last time I grew it, I think I got like a 70-pound pumpkin. I think I have a picture. I'll put that here. So fun. I'm hoping I get like at least one of these guys. They also have huge vines, so keep that in mind. And then we get into some other really big vining ones. Not sure how they're going to do, but we have a lot of space up there, and hopefully, usually things just kind of work their way in amongst like the flowers, and it's all just overgrown and lovely, and again, chaotic, and I love it. We have Mus de Provence. I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing that right. These are new to me this year. All of these ones from Seed Savers. I've not grown this before. This is a big one, up to 20 pounds, it says. And a lot of these ones here are also good ones for eating. So we may try that this year. But again, I mostly grow for decorative purposes. I just love to decorate with pumpkins. A Long Island cheese, kind of similar to that last one. This one is a historic East Coast variety named for its resemblance to a wheel of cheese. And this gets 6 to 12 pounds. And then finally, I'm not going to try to pronounce this because you know I'm going to mess this up. But this is an old French heirloom, aka the Cinderella pumpkin. It's beautiful, flattened, ribbed, large fruit are a gorgeous, deep red orange. So I don't know. We got some good ones. We got like some classic Halloween carving pumpkins. We got some flat stackers, and we got some little ones for my little great nephew and great niece. And then as far as what I put in the planting hole, we have really good soil up here. We've been very fortunate. Things grow pretty well, but I do add a couple of things into the soil. So I love this Wow Wallace mycorrhizal inoculant. I mix up some of this along with some Coast of Maine composted manure and some of their worm castings. I just mix it up like in my bucket, and then I put like a handful or so into each planting hole along with just an all-purpose vegetable fertilizer. And that so far has worked, and that is the only fertilizing that I do for these pumpkins throughout the whole season. Okay, sorry friends, had to change locations because my mom's mowing the lawn, and you don't mess with her and her lawn mowing. She loves mowing lawn. But moving on. So yeah, in addition to this being really just chaos pumpkin gardening because I don't mark anything, I just let happen what happens, see what comes up. It's also really a hands-off type of garden situation. So I grew up on a dairy farm, and I've just been thinking a lot about how my dad had like just the approach of letting Mother Nature take control. So we grew a lot of corn, and he would plant the corn and then of course just depend on the rain to germinate it and grow the corn, which isn't always great. You know, as you know, that can be very stressful, but kind of the same approach here. I plant the seeds and the plants and I try to get them established before I leave. But after that, it's really just up to Mother Nature. Like I said, my mom will kind of like harvest a little bit throughout, but that's pretty much it. I do not expect her to water. I don't want her to water. I really do this because I want it to be hands off. And I don't want her to have the stress or the work because I mentioned she is elderly. But I do want to have lots of beautiful flowers for her to look at and hopefully lots of pumpkins for me too. Now, unfortunately, the problem with the Mother Nature approach is it's very stressful because as you know, the weather is really fluctuating. So it seems like we get a ton of rain and then we get no rain and we're hot, we're cold. I just don't know what is going to happen. But again, just having that faith, I'm just planting the seed and having the faith this year. And that's all I can do because I'll be leaving soon and I can't do anything from 1,200 miles away. But thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you will like this video and follow along, and then you can see if I do get any pumpkins, we get any flowers, what the heck happens, what grows, just all of the things. But again, thanks so much for being here, friends, and we'll talk soon. And P.S. How adorable is my little mom? Look at her little hat. She's so cute. She actually used a bag but it got too hard for her to jump it all the time. But she hasn't taken the bagger off, but it's okay. It works for her. She's the cutest.